We're back! The Sports Desk is back in studio this week, and we've got what you need. We're bringing you the best that Torrance has to offer, and this week is no different as we hit the diamond hard. Bishop Montgomery's softball team made it exciting against Carson, needing an extra inning to get the job done, while West and South renewed their rivalry. Plus, a special treat, a two-part interview with Torrance track high legend and war hero Lou Zamperini. Are you ready? The Sports Desk starts now. Aloha, I'm Vailele Salas. The Torrance softball team finished last year below 500, but the Tartars behind a trio of strong pitching believe they can turn things around this year. Torrance looked to turn around Santa Monica in a non-conference game. Torrance looked to keep winning against Santa Monica, but after 3 runs in the first by Santa Monica, both Mia Flores and the Tartars would have to hunker down. Torrance would, as Flores would strike out 17 in a 7-inning game, but it was all for naught as the Tartars come up short 4-3. But for the Tartars, excitement is at an all-time high for the upcoming season.
I actually expected to win the Pioneer League this year, but what kind of a coach would I be if I didn't say I was going to win? So I think it's going to be real fun, real fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad South is in our division this year. We don't go to Palos Verdes, so I'm happy, man. I'm really stoked about my team.
Even though Torrance only has 3 seniors on the roster, veteran leadership doesn't worry the Tartars.
We need to have fun. I pulled the girls together at the very beginning of the season. I said, what do you guys want out of this season? 3 hands went up. We want to have fun. 2 other hands went up. We want to play together as a team. The rest of them all said, we'd like to win. I said, well, how can you not? No matter what we do on that field, if you're having fun, you're playing together as friends, because you're playing, it's a game, win or lose, you're going to be winners. So that's what they're looking forward to, is keeping the drama out, because it's high school girls. So those are kind of key for us right now. No, just keep the drama. Keep it at a minimum.
So despite Mia Flores' 17 strikeouts, the Tartars cannot come out with a victory, losing 4-3. Courtney Murray went 3 for 3, and Jamie Moon hit a 2-run triple. Later in the week, Torrance faced Garden Grove and was Flores again, striking out 7 this time in a 1-hit shutout, doing it at the plate as well, going 2 for 3. Then in the semis of the Downey tournament, the Tartars were blanked by San Pedro 6-0. North also took to the field, beating Sarah 4-1. Jenny Burnham stole a base and scored for the Saxons as Haley Rodriguez threw 5 perfect innings for the win. Bishop Montgomery has a Del Rey League title in its sights this year. Early in the season, the Knights have been hard at work taking on all non-conference foes. 8 returning starters hit the field against Carson, and as Jeff Larson reports, the Knights won in exciting fashion.
Spring has arrived, and the Bishop Montgomery softball team and its fan base are pumped up for what hopes to be a fun and rewarding 2007. The bats were popping early for the Lady Knights, as Ali Carlotto drilled a shot over Carson center fielder Yasmina Lizarraga's head for a stand-up 3-bagger. Then Carly McElroy banged one in the gap that was misplayed by shortstop Valentina Nabanyan, giving the Knights a 2-1 lead. In the following inning, center fielder Vanessa Vasquez put one just out of the reach of the Carson left fielder and raced around like Ricky Henderson for an inside the Parker. Bishop now led 4-1 in the bottom of the 3rd. In the top of the 4th, junior pitcher Bea Meneses, all of 5 feet 1 inch, started to get in the groove, getting first baseman Ashley Ventura to harmlessly fly out to McElroy. Meneses also changed speeds well, keeping catcher Brittany Avila off balance. Meneses then finished her off with a high hard one to preserve the 4-2 Bishop Montgomery lead. In the top of the 7th, Menendez and the Knights were looking to close out the Colts, but Nabanian had other ideas, banging one in the right center gap for an RBI double, cutting Carson's deficit to 1. Then Ashley Ventura came up big with her second hit of the day, but this one was magnified as it tied the game at 4. But Bishop got out of the inning with a line out to Melanie Delgado. The Knights now had to hope for a miracle in the bottom of the 7th. But they didn't get it, and the game went extra frames. But Menendez finished the 8th strong, fielding a comebacker for the 3rd out. Bishop Montgomery was now in need of 1 for the W. With 1 on, Vanessa Vasquez was looking for the sacrifice, but couldn't lay it down. After Carson picked off the Bishop runner, Vasquez was swinging. And it's a good thing, as she laced one to left. And then sped around the bases for her second dinger of the game. This one, however, won it for the Lady Knights, 5-4 in the 8th. Bishop improved to 2-1 on the season and its second win in as many years over Carson. Reporting from Bishop Montgomery, I'm Jeff Larson for the Sports Desk.
So Vasquez does it in dramatic fashion with the walk-off homer in the 8th to give the Knights the victory 5-4. Carly McElroy also went deep. Then in the Downey tournament, Bishop kept the good times rolling against South Torrance, walloping the Spartans 8-0. Melanie Delgado went 3 for 3 with 2 home runs and 6 RBI, while Alexandria Davis hit a jack of her own to pace the Knights. The Knights turned it around again, this time against North, beating the Saxons 2-1. Haley Rodriguez allowed just 1 earned run on 3 hits for North in defeat. North did have some good times, however, against St. Matthias. The Saxons got 2 home runs, including a grand slam from Ui Judd, as they dominate 12-0. Kristen Tanaka allowed 4 hits in 5 innings and struck out 8. If you've been around Torrance for a mere second, you know the name Louis Zamperini. And if you know the name, then you know the story. A Torrance High alum, record holder, Olympic athlete, and war hero. At 90 years old, Zamperini still gets around as if he were 30. I coaxed him to stop for a second, and in the first half of a 2-part interview, the national hero gives us a glimpse in a life that's been there and done that twice over.
World War II, I never thought I'd be here. And to be here and see all these kids and to have the stadium named after me, that was great. And then the airfield, and what else? Oh yeah, they named the street after me. So this is my town.
Lou Zamperini has more than one reason to be grateful for where his life has gone. By now, most know his story. After achieving greatness on the track for Torrance, USC, and as a 1936 Olympian, Zamperini enlisted as a bombardier during World War II. And after crashing over the Pacific, he'd lay stranded on a raft for 47 days before being captured by Japanese soldiers and detained for more than 2.5 years. And as Zamperini details, if it weren't for athletics, the Olympian may not be here to tell his story.
Athletics probably played the biggest part, being physically fit to start with. And also in athletics, every athlete wants to win, but on a life raft, you must win. And I think that what's drilled into you in track and field or any sport, and that is to never give up and to win.
Giving up was something Zamperini never thought of doing, although there was a time when life seemed to be giving up on him. A misfit and a bully, Zamperini was going nowhere fast.
All my brother turned me around, and I had no accomplishments. The only accomplishments I had was gang-related, and you know what that is. But when I decided to be a runner and won my first race, that was the first really accomplishment of my life, and it tasted good. And so I went fanatic over accomplishments. And right now, well, I had to quit going to movies about 40 years ago to do this. but I'm accomplished, or I'm licensed in, accomplished in, or an expert in 110 different things. I've been a deputy sheriff, I've been a lifeguard, I've been a cowboy, you name it, I've been it. And that's because I became, after the first accomplishment I had in my life as a teenager, that felt so good, I decided to taste as much of life as I could.
From knocking on death's door in the Pacific to making the most out of his 90 years, life continues to taste sweet.
I wouldn't trade my life for any other single life on the face of the earth. To be able to have done all those things and to enjoy the different aspects of life, yeah, hard to beat.
We'll have more with Mr. Zamperini later on in the show, but for now, let's take a quick pit stop. When we get back, it's back to the softball diamond, as well as some scores from around the South Bay. Stick with us.
All right, Commissioner, hold on. I'll tell him.
Honey, it's Phil. The gold reserve is being attacked.
Tell him I'll be right there.
Don't forget to shut the window.
What? All right. What's the joke? What's so funny?
South and West Torrance have youth on their side, but placed in leagues dominated by seniors, both teams have their work cut out for them. But before both squads looked down the line, they faced each other. Aaron Coscarelli reports.
It's softball season, and the girls are excited to get on the field and play some ball. West is heading over to South, hoping that with a new head coach and the youth of the Spartans, they will have the opportunity to claim the title of South Bay.
Well, we have a new coach this year, so just getting used to everything.
Speaking of a new coach, what do you think of him?
He's good. They work on hitting a lot, so that helps us. So I like him. He's a good guy. So I like both of them. They know what they're doing, so.
So while West adjusts to a new coach, South is trying to overcompensate for the lack of experience. With only a few seniors, Captain April Setterlin hopes to keep the ball rolling with their offense.
Well, me and Sierra are the captains, and we're also the two seniors that have been on varsity since we were freshmen. And we just try to inspire the girls and, just make it fun because, you do your best when you're having fun.
And inspired them, April did after a deep hit almost past the center field fence. South scored a total of 7 runs for the game. West couldn't bring the heat, and early in the 5th inning were only able to lock in 2 runs against the Spartans. Despite the loss, new head coach Jim Myers remains optimistic. He set his goals pretty high for the season.
To complete a 500 season, break-even season, establish our pitching situation. We're graduating 4 seniors and returning 11 underclassmen.
April's goals are a little different. She just hopes to have a good time.
I just hope everyone, is confident and has fun. That's really what we want to do. Winning games just comes with that. So hope to win some games and do well in the yeah.
The South Torrance girls softball team ended the game with a triumphant win over West with a final score of 7-2. The Spartans are hoping that this win will be the confidence boost that they need for a successful rest of the season. Reporting from South Torrance High School, I'm Aaron Coscarelli for the Sports Desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Sierra Wood went 2 for 4 with a double and 3 RBI to lead South. Nicole Hare allowed just 6 hits for the complete game shutout. The Spartans improved to 2-2 on the year, while West drops to 0-3. Then, in the Downey tournament, West continued its woeful ways, losing to Redondo 2-0, then tying St. Bernard 4 apiece. Braylon Bell had 2 hits and 3 stolen bases for West, whose record stands at 0-4-1. West took care of business on the baseball diamond, smoking B. Monty 14-1. Mark Oslin jacked a 3-run homer as well as racking up 6 RBI. Anthony Spadafino had 3 hits and 4 runs scored as the Warriors improved to 3-0 while the Knights fell to 0-3. Then in the semifinals of the El Segundo tournament, Derek Hamlin went 3 for 3 and knocked in the go-ahead run in the 5th inning to lead the Warriors past Gar 6-4. Spadafino had a pair of hits in the championship game. West outlasted Palos Verdes 5-3. Athlete of the Week alum Kyle Petter gets the win and the tournament's most outstanding pitcher award, giving up 4 hits, 4 walks, and struck out 5 in the complete game. Catcher Mason Morioka earned tournament MVP honors, and Mark Oslin was named Best Defensive Player as West improves to 5-0 on the year. In other action, North had an up-and-down week, beating Hawthorne 3-1. Kirk Hondo went 3 for 3 with a double. The Saxons then lost to Beverly Hills on the 8th as North drops to 2-2 on the year. That was followed by yet another loss, this time at the hands of the Bishop Montgomery Knights 3-2. Brent Lozano went 2 for 3 for Bishop, while Yohei Suzuki pitched 6 innings, allowing 2 earned runs for North. Earlier in the week, it was the Knights on the losing end, falling to Beverly Hills 6-0. South was also in action, facing and beating St. Paul 11-5. John Kemp went 4 for 4, and Stephen Barber went 2 for 2 with 3 RBI for the Spartans. South continued their winning ways 2 nights later against Narbonne, 9-1. Bo Hops gave up 3 hits and struck out 9 in 6 innings. Hops also had a home run and 3 RBI. The Tartars were also in action, meeting up with St. Paul. Brad McConnell went 3